Yo, 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 it's your boy Ronny Llama. We back for part 3. And you know, it's kind of interesting because me and Raisa came back and we actually have another special guest to join us today. You feel me? But for right now, we'll let you enjoy the music till we get to that conversation. Bounce like that. Llama. Got it like that. Girl, I gotta know. Girl, who knew that you knew how to dance like that? Girl, who knew that you knew how to bounce like that? Girl, who knew that you knew how to shake it like that? Girl, I gotta know if you got it like that. Hey, baby, yeah, it's Ronny, Mr. Llama man, that's what they call me. From Mattapan through the Bury, ain't no center street, I might get dirty. Off Blue Hill, I'm like Lou Will. Got one in the field, got one in the hill. I got 2 of them, and what to do with them? Bring them to Shade Rules, that's when I skate on them. I got one that's by Heath Street and one that lives on D Street. I take them both to Carson Beach, they teach me how to swim. And when I take them out to eat, they don't let me get shrimp. Man, it's a shame. Man, it's a shame how these niggas play the game. If y'all take some notes, then you might not be a lame. Let me tell you about a shorty that I met by Raising Cane. Shorty had so much chicken that she had me looking fly. That's how she liked me, that's how she wanted me. I couldn't say no to Gucci, I couldn't say no to Louis. I stacked up all my steak and cheeses and I went to Cappy's. That's where I met shorty, told me that she body leja. Always asking money for her ejas. I tell her, ¿de dónde cree que viene el dinero, pendeja? Who knew that you knew how to dance like that? Girl, who knew that you knew how to bounce like that? Girl, who knew that you knew how to shake it like that? Girl, I gotta know if you got it like that. Girl, who knew that you knew how to dance like that? Girl, who knew that you knew how to bounce like that? Girl, who knew that you knew how to shake it like that? Girl, I gotta know if you got it like that. Matter of fact, give me a second while I take a shot. I'm gonna take a shot of this House of Friends real quick, you feel me?
In the casa with my amigos.
You heard? Now, like I told y'all, you know, if y'all listen to part 2, it was me and Raisa. We going out there talking about inspiration and what inspires us when we come out here to New York. That being said, you know, this is a little bit of a change of topic. And, you know, we didn't realize this till we actually went out during the nighttime. We figured out, you know, this is some hot fucking shit going on. Not just going on, but going on in this city specifically. You feel me? Like, we can go back to Boston. We not about to hear about this shit. You feel me? We not about to hear about this shit. It's just not as common. I mean, maybe me, because you feel me? I'm a sexy ass nigga, so, you know, I have little things here and there. But now, let's be real here, right? Today, or tonight, I should say, I ran into a good friend of mine from out here in New York. And, you know, I guess she would consider herself someone who, for lack of a better term, I guess, takes advantage of sugar daddies. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I suppose you can say that, of course, to better myself.
Right.
You know, and I'm not gonna lie. Like, people think of sugar daddies, but sugar daddies just come with money. But if you're smart, you let them mentor you. Mm. So I think, like, that's a topic that needs to be spoken about.
Right.
Not a lot of girls are going to be open about this topic. So. Right.
Now, that being said, you say it comes with mentoring. But does that also come with that part that, you know, we all as a society assume comes with, like, a sugar mama, sugar daddy, which is, you know, you doing, you know, the sexual pleasures, for lack of a better term.
Yeah.
So, like, is that something that's always included for you to reach higher levels?
No. And that's where a lot of people get that fucked up. Mm-hmm. You know why? Because there's people that actually want to teach you and see potential in you, you know? Mm-hmm. So you can have somebody that's giving you money, you know, the most money, but then you have somebody else that's trying to teach you so you can make that money yourself. Mm. And that's where a lot of girls fuck up, you know? A lot of girls just want that quick money. Sometimes you need to be mentored and you need to let them put you on to stuff so you can learn and make more out of it.
It sounds like you're saying that a lot of girls turn themselves into sugar babies before they're even is a sugar daddy.
Of course.
You know, like they're already expecting a certain type of treatment or whatever the fuck it is without, giving their part or expecting anything else other than,
Yeah.
monetary value or,
Yeah, but that's the difference. Once you get into that lifestyle, like, it's really different. Like, it's really hard to date. You know what I mean? Because now you have these certain expectations from these richer dudes, that have way much more to offer you. So now you have this boy that's probably scamming, selling drugs, and the little bit of money they're trying to impress you. So it kind of affects like when you date too, because you'll be like, oh no, I'm good, I'm good, I'm good. And then that person will take it as like, oh, so you think I'm broke? Like, oh, let me do something for you. But in reality, you're just trying to look out for them. I'm like, yo, you don't have what I really want. Like, I have these high expectations and I'm trying to look out for you. Like, chill, let me just fuck with you for you. So it's hard to date because of that.
And it's funny that you bring that up because at the same time, I feel like that is again something very specific to New York. You feel me?
Yeah.
I feel like for the man to feel that need to have to shower you financially in a sense to be like that
Alright.
person or
Yeah.
whatever it may be, I feel like that comes just from like the whole New York vibe. And, we was having a conversation earlier in our part 1 and part 2 with me and
Yeah.
Raisa. We were talking about like inspiration and motivation.
Yeah.
And for example, we come to New York because we see that in literally everybody that's walking down the street.
Hustling.
We see that hustle.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Everybody's aggressive.
So in that same sense, we see that in what you're dealing with,
Yeah.
right? So you say, sometimes you might have a person that may or may not be less financially stable, for example, but because they have that New York hustle mentality, they're gonna put their all into, a shorty or
Or trying to,
another person or
please
whatever.
this person.
Yeah, to please this person.
But that's the thing, the type of person I am. I don't want you to get yourself into some trouble when I have people. Like, that's what I'm saying. It's very difficult to date after. Well, for me, I'm going to be honest. This is something that people don't really speak about, being a sugar baby. It's hard to date because you have these high expectations, right? So now you have these other boys that are trying to impress you. And I'm like, damn, babe, I know you're trying to impress me, but it's not really what I want. Like, you don't even have that mental to teach me anything. You're not pushing forward. You could have some money right now, but I don't see a plan. You know what I mean? So it's very difficult. So, like, for me to like a boy, like, they had to like really prove themselves mentally. Like, oh, you're smart and you got this going on for yourself. And it's not about money at this point.
And it's funny that you say that it's not about money because the next question I was gonna ask, and I hope of course you don't take offense to this or anything like that. And shout out to House of Friends. But do you ever reach that point where maybe you might hear someone saying like, "Oh, you're just being," the Spanish word, "you're just being a chapi," "you're being a chapeadora," or in English, "you're just being what's the word? A gold digger." You feel me? So like, how do you, as someone who isn't necessarily simply digging for the gold, but well, I mean, honestly, you are digging for the gold.
Of
You're digging
course.
for the good stuff. You feel me?
I'm
You're
not
not
gonna
just
lie.
digging for the green. You're digging for what the fuck is gonna make you your gold. You feel me?
Exactly.
So like, how do you, I guess, word that or picture that for people to be like, nah, this is low key type of wave. You know what I mean?
No. And I'm glad that you asked that question because it brings a lot of awareness to something that people don't really express or really let people know. Like, sugar baby lifestyle sounds lit. Oh, you're going out to places, you drinking, but at the end of the day, like, you can go to these places 1,000 times. Like me, I've been doing this for years, right? I get tired of it. Like, there's dudes that try to impress you with like dining and going to nice places and shit. I'm not into that.
If you don't mind me interrupting you,
Go right ahead. What's up?
you said you've been doing it for years, right?
Yeah.
You don't say how specifically for how many years.
Yeah.
But do you mind if I ask you, or do you mind if you tell the audience how old you are?
I'm 23 and I've been doing that since I was like 19, 18, going to 19. And that's a lot of time for you to learn a lot of things and know that it's not monetary. Like, whatever you're coming into this, if you're a smart girl and you really want to, like, get some money out of this, you'll know that you're going to have to teach yourself. and you're gonna have to like ask people to mentor you and ask them questions. It's not about the money. You can get that from anybody. Any man is horny in New York.
Especially in New York. Not only is any man horny, but
They're
there's
horny.
money out here too.
Yeah, they horny. They got wives, you know, they tired of their wives, or they don't have time for a relationship, and that's what a lot of them say. Like, yo, I don't have time for a relationship, but I can meet you here and there.
Yeah.
So it's easy.
Don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm a male, right? So like, more often than not, when we hear about this sugar situation, it's always sugar daddy. We don't really hear about sugar mamas.
All right.
I mean, yeah, we do,
Yes,
but like,
I'm so happy you asked
yeah,
that.
we do, but not as often. You
All
feel
right.
me? Like,
So since
go for it.
go.
Now you go.
All right. So since we're keeping this anonymous, right? And you guys don't know who I am. So a couple months back, I put one of my homeboys on, right? He was working, like, taking care of, like, special needs people. He quit his job after I put him on to a certain website. He started having sugar mamas. He's Gucci right now. Like, he's lit. So, you know, like, I ain't gonna lie, like, it works for some people. And, like, you know, like, I put him on and I'm like, oh, shit, like, all of a sudden this nigga don't work. My friend don't work.
But you see him balling with Gucci everything.
Yeah, but he's balling. But he tells me straight up, he's like, yo, the best thing you ever put me on to was that. But I be telling him, like, yo, keep focused. What are you doing with your life?
Because you don't want to... See,
you don't want to keep getting lit and lit and lit. Oh, and I'm on all these nice spots and make it seem something, but you're not really there.
See, I think that's a key thing that you really have to put out there. You feel me? Like, this whole sugar mama, sugar baby type of lifestyle is not that. You know, it's not a lifestyle.
It's not peach and creams and no.
Yeah, but more importantly, it's not a lifestyle. It might be a phase, for example. Because
for a lot of people, it's a phase.
Yeah, it's a phase for you to get out of maybe a financial situation that you're in. Sometimes just to get over like an actual relationship, like a romantical relationship, and you just feel like, man, I don't feel like dealing with actual romance. Okay. I just need someone to take care of me.
Yeah.
Whatever the situation may be, you feel me? I feel like
I'm really glad that you brought this topic into your podcast, because it's something that people don't talk about. It's something that girls aren't open to talk about, because it's kind of embarrassing. You don't want to admit to certain things. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to admit to the fact that, like, I don't like certain things. You know.
And let's be honest here. The real hero here is you. Like, yeah, I'm having this, but you're the one that's coming on here and speaking about this. So that's what's really important. I mean, yeah, you're anonymous, but the fact that you're putting this type of information out there,
I want somebody to listen to this and be like, yo, it's not just for the money. I want you to, like, gain something more than that. Like, your body, don't use your body for that. Be smart. You know?
Now,
people are willing to mentor you. That's one thing. Let me say that to the girls. People are willing to mentor you. You know why? Because they feel like they built you. So as long as somebody feels like they built you, take that. Doesn't matter. Go with it. Let them feel like they're building you. You know what I mean? But there's a lot of people that don't want that. There's a lot of people that just want monetary, you know? Oh, I want to live a good lifestyle. That's not what it is. A lot of girls, like, I'm not going to lie, on the Shade Room and, like, stuff like that, they have, like, this whole perspective that sugar daddy's like this and that. Like, no, it's not. It's not.
I mean, it's not that it isn't or it isn't. Or, I mean, it's not that it is or it isn't.
Yeah.
It's just simply that's their point of view. And
no,
just like you have your point of view because you just so happen to have more experience with it. And honestly, let's be honest, we don't know what kind of experience those people have with people on the Shade Room.
You'd be surprised. And you'd be surprised when people go through.
Exactly. And maybe that's why they've got to the point where they say what they say. Maybe they have had their experiences with sugar daddies, and maybe it hasn't worked out that way because, you know, maybe like you said, people or girls go into the situation just thinking about it monetarily. And when you just thinking about it monetarily, I mean, I don't know, but I feel like that could bring numerous types of problems.
Of course. All right, let's talk about that. Let's talk about relationships when it comes to having sugar daddies. All right, so I'm going to tell you guys a story. You guys ready?
Here.
All right, so I had this good friend. So I used to be on this website, right? I had this dude, good dude, paid good, you know, like, looked out for me. Like, he would tell me, bring me a business plan and I'll support you. Cool. So one day I had my friend drop me off, but I lied to her. I'm like, oh, this is my family's crib.
You said lie to her?
Yeah. Because sometimes in that lifestyle, you don't want everybody to know, like, what you're doing. Like, you don't want that. So I lied to her. I'm not going to lie. Like, I lied to her. I'm like, oh, this is my family's crib. I'm going. They have a family party. So it's her and her boo dropped me off there. It's so funny that websites are, like, small. Don't ever think that you know somebody and other people don't know them. Let me say that. So she went to that house and she was like, oh, do you know this girl? She said that you're her uncle and this is your house. And unfortunately, the dude was like, oh no, that's my sugar baby, you know? So then after that, I'm like, okay, that's too messy. I don't like when people know who I'm messing with.
Yeah.
I never had that. So I'm like, whoa. So she hit me up. She's like, oh my God, that's crazy. And I'm like, oh, okay. So we were cool. I'm okay with it. You see her, you see me. Cool, whatever. Protection all the way, whatever. But then I asked her, she knows I had no problem with her seeing him. I'm like, oh, have you seen him? She lied to me the whole time. She wanted to see him the other day, and you know what he told me? He was like, oh, she said that you have a new sugar daddy now. And I'm like, wow, that's crazy. So what I'm trying to say is that this is somebody that I believed in very much. And like, we found out we had the same sugar daddy, and we still went along with it. And we were like, yo, it's cool, whatever. We just gonna get him for money, and we gonna build ourselves up. But in reality, I thought I had a friend. Listen, I thought I had a friend, but my friend was behind my back telling him, oh, she has a new sugar daddy.
Oh, like trying to keep him all to himself type shit.
I ain't gonna lie, like, the only reason I'm bringing that up is because that lifestyle is crazy. You think you have friends? You do not have friends. You will have friends that tell you, oh, I don't want to go through that. And they put you through that.
I mean, I don't want to be, I don't like speaking too much on things that, like, I don't really involve myself in. You know, a lot of things I'm usually an outsider to, right?
Right.
But, you know, for this specific situation, it's like, where were you expecting any type of love or respect or loyalty from anyone when, you know, your whole, for example, your specific whole, like, motto is literally finessing someone else. That's literally the lack of trust of someone else. You know what I mean? So, like, how...
Go. Wait. How do you what? Ask it. Because I need somebody to ask me that.
Yeah, I'm not sure how to ask it, really. But how do you... How
what are your morals after that? Like, how do you really, like, feel like that you're doing the right thing?
Honestly, yeah. That's ultimately the right question. Yeah, perfect. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for asking yourself the right question.
Thank you. And thank you for bringing it into awareness. You know why? Because people will think this in their heads and it's like, yo, this is going to drive me crazy, and people won't talk about it. But you know what's crazy? I feel like, yeah, I finesse people. And you know what's crazy? People will say that, but believe it or not, if you have a good heart, shit like that will fuck you up. And I'm speaking for myself. I can't speak for other people. But stuff like that will fuck me up. You know why? Because some people get personal with me and they tell me about their family problems and why they're doing this, or like why they're paying me to chill with me or like to hang out with me. Some dudes don't even have sex with me. Like, they don't.
Yeah. And then you go home with really their bottle of Casamigos.
Yeah. Okay, that too. But you know what? Let's take a break. But it feels really bad. You know why? Because I'm like, damn, that person really needs somebody, and they feel like I'm that somebody. But in reality, I know that I'm gonna get paid for this, and it fucks you up mentally.
Definitely.
If you're a good person, because you're like, damn.
Because you're literally screwing someone else over.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's not always.
Not screwing somebody over, but a lot of these men, they have a lot going on. And they tell you their family problems. everything. Like, they get so deep into stuff that...
Family problems.
Yeah, they're crazy. But they start... No, guys, listen. All right. We're going to take a break because they're being a little mature.
All right.
But...
Dale.
But, you know, like, it definitely affects you as a person. Like, you know, like, you feel bad. Like, to be honest, between me and you, nobody knows who it is. But I've cried before. You know why? Because I've left somebody, and I'm like, damn, that person really needs me.
And
that
I don't give a
person, like,
fuck about that person.
No. The person I am, I feel attached. And it's fucked up because it fucks your mental up, and that's something people are not ready to talk about.
So is it one of those things
I
where,
feel
like,
really bad because I'm like, damn, you feel like you got me, but in reality, I'm like, all right, I got paid, I'm out of here.
No. See, one thing I have to stick with. If you specifically said you get attached, so is it one of those situations where, like you said, you get attached, but not only do you get attached, but simultaneously, you know, yo, this isn't a situation where I should be getting attached to because I'm just trying to either finesse the cash or just get, mentoring ship.
No.
But this isn't something that I want to be
and that's where
romantically.
All right. And that's where it gets confusing. Because you can be a good person, but you can need that money really bad. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But you're like, damn, this person that I was just hanging out with, they really need that. Like, all right, I'm going to talk about it. I went on a date, and this person, their wife died. They're an older dude. We didn't even have sex. They don't have no family. They just have a house. Yeah. Do you know how guilty I felt just to go? And I know that, like, he didn't even want the sex. It was more about, like, I want somebody to be in my house and, like, I need somebody. Do you know how fucked up that felt? That's something that people aren't ready to talk about.
I mean,
it's really nice. And
mm-hmm.
Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Even being a sugar baby, quote unquote, it affects you dating. Because you have more higher expectations. You know what I mean?
No, I do. You keep saying it affects you dating, but you're not really. Well, I mean, you kind of go into it, but I want you to specifically say whether or not, if this is a possibility, whether or not it's affecting you positively, negatively, or you can just simply say it's affecting you.
It's affecting me.
Just simply it's affecting you, so you can also see pros as well as you can see cons in the way that it's affecting you.
And that's what I'm going to say. I see pros and I see cons.
Word.
So I can't really be like, oh, this is the worst thing ever, but this is the best thing ever.
Word.
I'm be like, yo, it comes with this, and it also comes with that. So. But I feel like, sorry to cut you off, but I feel like since I'm on this podcast and nobody knows who I am, I feel like it should be fair for me to, like, let women and young girls be aware of really what it is. You know why? Because I've gotten taken advantage at the beginning. You know what I mean? So I feel like there needs to be more women willing to talk about it and not be like, yeah, I used my, like, all right, let's talk about example. Fuck with Sukihana, lit bitch. But she had this whole demeanor, oh yeah, I fucked with this nigga, But at the end of the day...
Before you finish, can you just explain who the hell is Sukihana?
All right. So Sukihana, she's all right, I'm gonna be honest. She's like a girl from the hood, you know, she got lit, you know, like on Instagram, just like Cardi B.
Okay.
Videos went crazy. So she had this video where she was like, oh, I'm in my sugar daddies. She made it aware.
Yeah. Like the
she
sugar
made it
daddy
a trend.
culture.
She made it a trend. Yeah, she made it a trend.
Uh-huh.
People weren't scared after that.
Okay.
And I give that to her.
And when was this exactly? If you can give like a frame.
I'll say like maybe 2 years ago or a year ago. I can't be honest, but that's what it feels like right now.
Yeah.
From there on, she's been good. But I feel like women are fucking up in that industry. You know why? Because they make it seem like they're much better. I think you should teach women. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like you should teach women, and I'm not saying like you owe anything to anybody, but as anybody that wants to come into that, and like, I'm not gonna lie, nowadays Instagram makes it something cool to have sugar daddies, and like, I feel like there has to be one woman or somebody that's willing to teach these young girls and not get screwed over, because I've been screwed over, and I would never want that for somebody else.
Now,
but then I also see there's nobody vouching for stuff like that.
Now, I'd like to...
But I'm scared to vouch for it because I don't want people to know who I am. And I don't want people to know that's what I do, but I want to...
So then, do you... See, damn, I had a whole other question I was going to ask, but you just brought up another great point. You know, and we're going to keep it, obviously, super, dang, what's the word? Anonymous. But, you know, you still do say that you don't... Or not still do say. You very specifically say you don't want people to know who you are or who it is that's speaking to the people right now. But at the same time, you want the information to be known.
Yeah.
Now, it's like, where I see a contrast with that is like, the shit that you want to be known is ultimately what makes you as a person currently, right? So if you don't want to put that out there, like...
Which is why I'm scared to say my...
Yeah,
because they will fuck up my money. Because if somebody else hears this, they're like, what the fuck? I can't even be around her. I can't trust her.
Yeah.
But me, as a person, I feel like this is something... You said is anonymous, right? But I feel like it's something that needs to be aware of. Like, you know, as young girls, don't feel like sugar daddies is everything. It's not. It's not. You're not getting anywhere by having a sugar daddy. You know how you get somewhere? By using your sugar daddy.
For more than just literally the financial shit?
Not having a sugar daddy, using him.
That's what it seems like. It feels like...
And you know, and that's what I'm saying. It fucks you up. You know why?
Because you're using a nigga.
Yeah, and I've thought of my family members that worked hard for their shit. Even like, me. And I'm like, damn. But I'm like, I gotta do it.
I feel like it comes to times where you're like, maybe this is just a slight, quick feeling, but you might start to feel for the person.
I
for
do.
The dude, right?
I've cried. I've cried.
Word, you said that earlier, right? You've cried about this person. But then
they don't know that.
Yeah, of course they won't. But you still have to go through that
but
moment.
It's just the fact that I know I had to take that decision because it's better for me.
Exactly.
And
you
that's
literally
where
have to put yourself through that moment where you're like, you know what? I'm going to have to cry by myself right now. And, you know, this is going to have to be okay. And tomorrow I'm going to wake up and ask that nigga for another $500.
Okay. And then that sounds nice. It sounds like Meg Thee Stallion, like, oh, get him for this or that, whatever. All these rappers. But in reality, when simple. You do that and you know that somebody cares for you, and the only reason they're sending you that money is because they want to see you do something with it, that fucks you up.
Yeah, but
and that's where people are not ready for that conversation.
Nah, the most important part, which you didn't mention, but you mentioned before, is the fact that you have something feeling. Because there's a lot of times people are doing shit for you and people don't have anything towards that.
It's fucked up my money.
People don't feel
at all.
I myself can tell you of a couple different times where someone put on for me and I didn't feel anything towards it. You know what I mean? Like, I felt nothing towards it. You feel me? So like, there's no, it's just like, it's the same shit can happen with you.
Wow, I like that you made that comparison. I really did. Because it comes from a different view.
Right. Not even a sugar mama or sugar daddy baby.
So I'm really glad that you made that comparison and people can use that too and be like, all right, it's not just this. Like I can, you know, so, but what I am trying to get across is, please, young girls, my age, younger, don't think that Instagram made this a thing. Don't think that having a sugar daddy is gonna help you. And hold on, let me get closer to the mic. Don't think that a sugar daddy is gonna help you. You know what's gonna help you? You helping yourself. is you knowing what's best for you. Don't ever think that money is going to make you a better person. You know why? Because I've seen a lot of people. I've seen a lot of people that have money and they're willing to invest in these projects. And these projects, I've seen it myself. They flop. Why? Because they felt like they had the money. And they felt like, okay, I got the money. I'm going to do it. It's a good idea. No. You have to know what you're getting yourself into. You have to know what you like. You know what I mean? So I feel like any girl that's getting into like becoming a sugar baby, and I'm going to say it from now, girl, get mentored. Find somebody that's willing to mentor you. Find a man. They have a fetish for this. Let me tell you this. They have a fetish.
There's websites for this shit.
Men have a fetish for like grooming a young girl. Take advantage of that. When you call yourself a sugar baby, it's not about the money. It's not about monetary. But if you're smart, it's more about the mentality. So I hope any girl that listens to this podcast, and I hope this gets across to a lot of girls, I hope it works out, and I hope, you know.
And guys too that have sugar mamas, because
Let me tell you guys too. Sugar mamas. I put one of my homeboys on. Don't play yourself. Women will pay more than men will, because they're more desperate, because they need something to reassure themselves that they look good. So a young boy will tell them they look good. So go make that money, boy. Go do that.
I am young and a boy. I'm about to go make my money. Yeah, heard. Yo, where's my sugar mamas at? You ain't turning off the mic. This thing's going strong. Where my sugar mamas at? Call 617.
Wait. First of all, headquarters is in New York. Where are we at?
Undisclosed location. We won't talk about that shit.
Fine.
Yo, nah, but seriously, yo, you know, I really appreciated the conversation we've had tonight. I don't think I have any more questions or any more comments to add. Sure? Unless you want to say anything else, and maybe I can come up with something else.
About something that you feel like, yo, like, how would that work? Being a sugar baby or being a sugar daddy? Like that, or being a sugar mama. Let's talk about sugar mamas. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, you know.
Let me say something.
You know what? I gotta be honest. I don't have more questions, or I don't have any more specific questions, because I feel like I don't know what to ask. Now, that being said, if you feel like you know maybe what I might ask, because I feel like I'm getting that type of vibe from you right now. If you feel like you know what I may ask, and you just want to answer.
Yeah, but no. Listen, this is a different podcast for the males. If you guys want to get to know something, you guys really want some advice on how to get to do it, tune into the next podcast. We got y'all.
Oh, shit. Well, shit. There you go. And it's your boy, Ronny Llama, and a special guest. And we'll be back to you when we got that information. Yeah, we live in New York.